It's kind of strange. There's a like without people even being in the. Okay, so welcome everybody back. I said I was coming right back, and I always keep my promises. I almost keep my word. And I also said I was going to be eating pasta, so I'm eating pasta fajoux. No, it's not pasta fajoux. I'm just eating regular old pasta. So now we're going to be talking about robots and technology, which is I've been threatening to do for quite some time. Here we go. Gotta have your cayenne pepper. Why am I not? All right. Apparently, cayenne pepper is really good for the heart. I hear. I mean, there's no way of knowing. I even have cayenne pepper pills. So you take the pill and it goes straight down without burning your mouth. Okay, so let's start. Let's, I'm very much afraid to go over the information because YouTube might not like it. So I'm gonna make a very general report. So this is talking about. It's coming from the perspective of. Oh, you gotta click on the link, not the words. It's coming from the perspective of having the government take over regulating the technology before the technology even comes out, which is wrong-headed in my opinion. So here we go. So this is from the UK. Ministers are lagging behind in an effort to tackle robot wives. Experts have warned. Now, how do you have an expert on something that literally is not even invented yet? You cannot have an expert on this. So when you have, I want to translate this for you. So they're trying to come across from a position of authority before the technology is even there. So they're trying to say, we have authority over this subject, so you must listen to us, when in fact that is not the case. There's nobody who's an authority on robot wives, even less so people writing articles for The Guardian in the UK. and that's the downfall of cayenne pepper being sprinkled around the right in front of you, right? So they're trying to appeal to authority without there being an authority, right? Amid concerns they could make women interchangeable with technology. They are concerned that the robot wives will make women interchangeable with technology. Human-like robots are sold as substitutes for women. This is a statement. This is not an observation of anything factual going on. This is a statement. Again, I'm translating for you all. Again, this is appealing to your fear. That, or whoever would have this fear, because apparently men don't have this fear because men are the sinister ones doing this when we're not there yet. So how can this be a fear if we're not there yet? Human-like robots are sold as substitutes for women and are marketed as companions. Quotation marks. Companions. Okay. Girlfriend or wives. Quotation mark. A coalition of academics, abuse victims, and activists have claimed. So they have claimed that this is what. So they are saying. They are saying this is what's going on. Do they? So then I'm going to ask you, do you think maybe these people have an agenda? Do you think these people are trying to step into an area of technology and ban it before it even comes to fruition by fear mongering? I'm gonna leave that up to you. You can answer that in the chat. Do you think these people have an agenda and a bias, and they want to? So if that crowd, those groups, were completely replaced by human-like female-looking robots who do absolutely nothing, do you think they would lose power? And the answer is, of course, yes. So if you replace these people spouting whatever they spout with a robot that doesn't spout anything, they're spouting and talking and writing articles and going before the UN will completely lose all fire, all energy, because people will go, well, I'm sorry, you're no longer needed because we now have female robots who cook and clean and do everything nice. Let's continue on. And MPs, these are the English parliamentary people, and ministers are ignorant of the potential dangers. So this is dangerous to replace these people making speeches and writing articles and all that sort of stuff, and creating GoFundMe campaigns for victims. They would lose power, and it's dangerous that they would lose power. Is it dangerous that they would lose power, and none of these people would ever be victimized in the future because we're going to replace them with robots that cannot be victimized? They're going to, okay. Quote, at a time when I have to translate these words. At a time when filthy, nasty, sinful exploitation is facilitated and proliferated by digital technology, turning it into a global, profitable industry, these products further promote the objectification of the what? Of the female body, and as such constitute a further assault on human intimacy. This is they are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, cuckoo. That's cuckoo. That's what that is. No politician has a place in talking about human intimacy. That's not his bailiwick, right? Bailiwick. That's not his area. That's not his lane. He should stay in his lane. He should literally stay in his lane. Um, Hello, the Last Crucible, Randy, Abney, Max, Danger Mouse, um, Greatest Hits, Brian. Okay. Um, uh, Bad Puppy, how you doing? Bad Puppy, they've already done this. In Asia, Asia is leading technology. The United States is not leading technology. The United States reporters try to pretend that the United States is leading technology. We are behind in technology. Why? Not through any effort of our own. It's just that because we are a capitalistic society, somebody has to do this on their own. Over in China, the government is actually pouring in billions, if not trillions, of dollars, and they have come out right out and said that we will be pouring in billions of yuan into technology so that China will be the go-to country for technology. We want to be number one in technology. This is like the the moon, the race to the moon, the space rocket, the space rocket race, which supposedly the United States won, as evidenced by the United States saying that they went to the moon, walked around the moon, and came back, and Russia giving up and saying, "Yep, you conceding," saying, "Yep, you did that. You went to space." And Russia has its own space agency. So I'm sure they were watching the moon landing. I said all that to head off any arguments that the moon landing wasn't real. So this now is the technology race. We're in a technology race with Asia. And while Japan has not said so itself, Japan is probably number 2 in technology as far as robotics is concerned. And China and Japan and Korea and Thailand and those countries have already made female robots with astounding technology. They already had female robots that talk to you. I mean, I saw a woman who owned a robotics lab with all of her employees and all that sort of stuff. And she said, "Oh, it's really simple. Here. Hey, Chin-chan, how are you doing today?" And Chin-chan responded, "I'm doing very fine. How you doing?" Right? It doesn't take that much, right? And she said, what I did was I kind of cheated. I hooked her out to the cloud. So now, by hooking up the AI to the cloud, I get responses because she has learned from the cloud to listen to millions of conversations between humans. So it's not that hard. It's not that hard to say, I want to create an AI that when you come through the door from work, hi master, how you been? I missed you all day. How was work? Are you okay? I'm here to at your beck and call. That's easy. That doesn't require anything. That doesn't even require. I could make that. And she said that. She said, I had some money, uh, threw up this factory, hired some people, got somebody to make the bodies. Then we got a couple of geniuses to make the AI, and we are ready to go. We're up and running. It does not take that much at all. It doesn't take that much. So these people then saying, this is gonna make blah 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 blah. The problem is these arguments that they're making against female robot technology are the same exact arguments that they use against the movies and videos online, yeah, of the adult nature. Same ones. And none of the fear mongering that they said about the film industry, the adult film industry, came true. None of that came true. We don't have people running around not liking women. Pretty sure there's quite a few men who love women. To the degree that there is not an end of men who don't want to have women. It's the same exact arguments. So if you have a memory, then you can look at stuff and say, hey, wait, you already said this. You said this over here about videos. Videos that people have to go and search and look for. Same thing here. People have to go. This is even worse because most of the population will not be able to afford these robots ever. So you're then talking about a group of people who are this small. So I'm talking about the Cadillac of these robot wives. They cost They start at $345,000 and go up to $1 million quite easily. If you completely customize your robot, it can cost $1 million. Here's what's crazy. There are dolls that cost $1 million because you customize them, and they don't do anything. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, if you want to look at it through that lens of Chad versus the is it beta male? I guess I'm a Chad, so I don't really have that. I don't have that experience of women not wanting me. In fact, I've had periods over my life where I've had women accost me walking down the sidewalk. And all of my girlfriends have come to me, not me to them. Anyway, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I don't agree with the whole Chad thing. But then again, I'm saying maybe I'm a Chad and I don't know it, and the other guys have a completely different experience from me. It's sort of like when certain groups say, "Oh, there's all sorts of discrimination going on," and I go, "What? I don't see any discrimination. uh, the blood pressure issue is ongoing. I last night after my live stream, I stood up, stretched, and got dizzy. And I said, whatever's going on needs to stop. It was a good stretch, though. It was a fantastic stretch. Okay, but continue on with the Chad thing. If you have low self-esteem, and maybe you don't want to admit it, but you do. I took a lot of psychology, so I see everything psychologically. And you believe that you are inferior to some other guy, and that these other guys get all the women, which I don't believe, because I have friend-zoned many supermodel women. So, and I do that on purpose. I do that on purpose because just to let them know they can't get every man. But there's then you get a female robot that looks like I don't know what's the going hot woman right now. Who's super hot to everybody? Yeah, smash that like button. That's thank you, Brad. Who's super hot right now? Dove Cameron. That's a woman. Okay, so they have already made robots that look like movie stars. You can customize it to that, and then people are saying, "Hey, can they do that?" The problem with first of all, the problem with asking it is what the people don't know is that using or adapting somebody's likeness only applies to when you're going to use that likeness to the public to sell something. So you can't take Cameron Diaz's face and body and what have you and plaster it out on your window or on posters and say, come shop at Al's. But you can customize a robot to look like Cameron Diaz and have it in your closet at home. That is that you can't prevent. You can't stop because that's not what Cameron Diaz, right? Is that okay? Let's just say Becky. So so you are of the meek and mild and shy type of guy. You send in your letter to the robot maker and you say, I want a robot that looks like Betty from Archie and the Gang, right? That was a comic book. It was called Archie, right? And Betty was the Betty and Veronica. Who was the cute one? Or were they both cute? Oh my God. You can't use likeness to market to the public. You can use likeness and put it in your closet, though. That's fine. You don't have to get permission for that. Um, because what's her name? They made a robot of Scarlett Johansson, and when they asked her, she said, "Well, I mean, it's just that guy, that one guy, and he has a robot that looks like me, and it's sitting in his closet. There's no, I can't. First of all, I can't even prove that he has a robot. So trying to bring a case against him is really hard. Would be very hard, and it'd be a lot of money for absolutely nothing. Because also he has not made any profits from that robot. It's just that some journalist went in and got nosy. Allison Mack. So anyway, you can get Betty or Veronica made into a robot, and boom, you got that. And she comes, you come home, and she says, "Oh, Steve, I missed you all day long. How have you been? Did you miss me?" I'd make sure I wouldn't program the robot to say that, because that could lead to some psychosis that the person would then be talking to the robot as if the robot were real, and I don't want to blur the line between reality and imagination. Why do I say that? Let's talk about the military just for 1 second. They gave the military robots, not human robots. They gave them like little R2D2 type of robots for use in their exercises. And when the little R2D2 robots got hurt in the exercises, the military personnel who were uh, right along with them were sad. So they said, we got to be careful about this, because these people are growing attached to something that looks like this. They don't even have eyes and nose and ears nor arms. They're getting attached to something that looks like this. So the psychology of that is really, it's a fine line between sanity and not sanity. What happened? Uh, YouTube didn't like your message, Tim Drake. Um, we have to speak in code. I'm speaking in code. Yeah, I don't think they can sue a Chinese company. I mean, and in fact, not only could they not sue the Chinese company could literally be sitting right at the docks, the San Francisco docks. So what is? It's not San Francisco. It's the town of the Oakland docks. It took me a long time to figure out why Oakland was popular. Anyway, if I did Scarlett Johansson videos and the robot. So anyway, uh, now there are some psychologists who have said that if you are going to be of the type of person who would buy a robot wife, that you are not the type of person to go out to the bar or go to church or go to the supermarket and pick up chicks. Straight up. This is the same argument used for people who have done very risque things like with animals and stuff. They said that type of person is not gonna be hollering at Becky. Am I saying this correctly? I don't know. I don't speak slang. They're not gonna holla at Becky. So you don't use the proper grammar for it. So or who's the female counterpart to Chad? It's Chad and Veronica or something like that. I saw it on CSI, the unit. What is it? Ultra Victims Unit, something like that. Stacy, Chad and Stacy. They said the psychologist said if you are of the personality that you're gonna have a robot wife, you're not gonna be hollering at Stacy. You're not gonna holler at Stacy. Now, the, now the people saying that are also being defensive. I have to explain everything to you to expose everything. If you're gonna be the type that says that we don't have to worry because that type of guy who's gonna have a robot wife isn't gonna be hollering at Stacy. Wrong. Robot wives, when you start hearing all of their skills and this chip and the emotion chip and the women on my channel have already said that they want one. It cooks, it cleans, it says nice things, it listens to you. Forget the robot wife part. An object that talks to you, sits down, listens to you, remembers what you said, and can hold a conversation with you, and cook, and clean. That's every human on the planet. That's every human on the planet. And in fact, the reason that there's not a market for the male part is that the women like women. As far as talking about a robot is concerned, the women like the women because it's a female-looking robot is non-threatening to the woman to begin with, so the woman is going to go with the female robot. You want to talk about some psychology? I will give you the psychology of this entire thing. The women want the women robot just as much as the men want the women robot because of all the stuff that they can do. They can literally have 5 of them, and people will say, "I want 5. Give me 5 of them. I want a cook. I want a person who does the yard. I want a person who gets up on the roof and cleans the gutters out and sweeps the roof off. I want a manicured lawn. I want one of them to wash the car and keep the car and wax it all the time. Give me 5 of them. Tell me if you could afford that, you wouldn't get 5. Oh, greatest hits. You're terrible. uh. Yeah, I was really shocked at how terrible the Roomba was. Yeah, I was on one of my birthdays. I was taken to a club, and I'm just spacing out, and then all of a sudden my friends bought a woman for me. She comes, jumps on my lap, and I go, what's going on? What's happening? And then I had never been in such a club before, and so I started touching her, and they were like, "Oh, we gotta go." And I said, "What's going on?" The 6'7" guy that weighs 400 pounds was coming out, headed our way. And I said, what is the use of that? That is not useful at all. I just wanted to hug her. I just wanted a hug. I didn't know you can't be nice to them. Is that funny? That's funny. I think that's funny. Everybody laugh. Oh my God. Okay, so so now they can have children. Everything's scientific, of course. They can have children. They can give birth to a child. They can carry a child and give birth to a child. They can cook and clean, and they can order around other devices in your house. So if you have a Roomba, the robot can direct the Roomba where it's supposed to go. And then Boston Dynamics, I have to mention them in my video. Boston Dynamics is selling Spot the dog. Spot the robot dog. That has 50 cameras on it. 50. 50. Has 50 cameras on it. It will map out your house. The entire inside of your house. And I'm gonna assume that when you get the robot also probably has 50 cameras also. So they have already some of the Japanese robots. They have cameras on their arms, cameras in their shoulders, all sorts of cameras here, and front and back, and they have sensors and all that sort of stuff. And they've already said this is what their robots have. So they can walk upstairs, come downstairs, go down hallways, squeeze through. They will not feel pain. I don't know if right. So the female robot stays at home and waits for you, and I guess when you come home, the dinner's already ready. You can also program the female robot by talking to her. So she's going to get your personality, and they've already come up with a way that the female robot understands your personality, so you have your personality, and the way that you're talking to her creates her personality. So she can have a personality. If you want a disagreeable robot, because some guys say they really like the woman to disagree, or the female robot to disagree with him, so you can create this robot that's sassy and what have you. If you like that sort of thing, I know everybody has their own taste. And for your information, psychologists have come out with a study that said you speaking pleasant words lowers your blood pressure and creates more health in you. I saw that right before I started recording today. So you have a personality, she has a person, you create her personality. You can go take your robot to the robot center, and they will create a child with both of your personalities. robot tiled. It's already in the works. It's already here. So not only, I don't think these people understand how far the technology is already. So not only can you create a female robot to act and respond exactly how you want her to respond, you can create a robot kid. Do you mind? What are you doing? I thought you were over there. Why don't you go sit on your bed instead of scaring me? He's over by the window doing stuff. Luke Chassis, you can't curse. So repeat that phrase without cursing. Yes, you can literally and here's the next segment of the video. So they're already creating the robots to go to the cloud, right? And because of the cloud, you can go click click, do this, click click, do that with the remote control to your female robot. Ooh. Oh, look at that, boy. Anyway. They say warning, hackers could get in on your female robot, and she's got all of those cameras and stuff. It could be wreak havoc, right? So there's a warning about that. So I'm sorry, what did you say? Yeah. But you can switch her off, assuming then that the hackers can't switch her back on. So they're of course then they give the doomsday scenario of the robot taking over the house. Because now you're gonna have a smart house, you're gonna have a female robot. The hacker comes in and he hacks the female robot, opens up everything in the house. So they walk into the house and they do whatever they're gonna do. I don't think like a criminal, so I have no idea what they would do. I'm guessing they would rob you. I don't know. Anyway, so there is that. Can I get everybody to smash the like button? Smash the like button. Yay, Shakaama. Okay, so you have the remote control, or you don't have. You don't need the remote. I'm guessing you can create the robot who does not go to the cloud, who does not run on remote control, who cannot be overridden from somebody sitting 50 yards in front of your house. Now, I'm going to also guess, because these robots are so expensive, that a lot of the people who are going to order these robots are going to be people with a yard that's, 200 square radius, 200 yards square radius around the house. So nobody could really hack into them unless they were using a drone, or something like that. I'm gonna get a black mailed. Blackmailed? Oh. The Japanese already invented a little clock about this size, and it has a 3D model of a chibi, a lolly, something like that. And what are you doing? Why are you acting suspicious over there? What have you done? Did you eat the floor or something like that? What's up? What's up over here? What did you do? What did you do? What did you eat? Did you eat something over here? Okay. Everything looks fine. I'm not angry at anything over here, so you don't have to look all okay, I know. I'm not paying attention to you for 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. The sky is falling. Oh, I need to stop eating. This is okay, and I probably need to drink water. Okay. Sorry for that break. I needed to stand up anyway. You're supposed to stand up every 15 minutes. So all of you sitting down, stand up right now. I'm gonna get you a playmate. Anubis is lonely. That's what Anubis is. I need to get him a girlfriend. I need to give him. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get to 30 likes. Come on. Come on. 30 likes. 30 likes. Okay, so you can create the personality. They already talked about that. Here's something silly. California robot makers, who are behind the curve, mind you, are putting into their robots a robot self-preservation. So they are programming their robots to say no to humans. So your toaster is going to say, no, I don't want to take that bread into me. I don't think California people have it all. I don't know. What happened? I don't think they understand what they're creating. And let me say this. The makeup of the robot is varied, but they now have the technology with, I think it's silent hydraulics or air or I think it's kind of a hydraulic. Anyway, they had robots with human muscles on it. You know, you can put it into a petri dish and you can grow human muscle. You put the human skin into the petri dish and you can grow human skin. You can do that with all the organs and stuff like that also. But the Medical Association demands that you not sell organs to create a market for organs so that everybody is able to get an organ. So these created organs are not in the organ donation venue of medical technology, the medical industry, which then when you find out that they're making organs in petri dishes or that they're growing organs on lab animals, it seems kind of how do you say? It seems kind of wrong, right? Because you have a policy that you don't sell organs, that you cannot sell organs, then people who can artificially grow organs cannot be in the same market, the same market as people who are trying to save lives by trading organs, right? For free. Right. However, that being said, there is a black market. You didn't hear this from me because I ain't want to gossip. Anyway, so they have created artificial muscles for robots that are 10 times stronger than human muscle. And when I say 10 times stronger, I mean 10 times stronger than the biggest bodybuilder, the biggest weightlifter, the strongest weightlifter, the strongest deadlifter, the strongman condition, the ones where the bar looks like it's gonna break because there's so much weight on it. It's 10 times stronger than that guy. And then they want to open that up to they want to open up the technology to the cloud or possibly to hackers. Let me tell you, um, Luke Chassis, you and I've already seen a female robot do the actions that with her hands that you would think, and it was actually kind of scary because it was like, so I was like, I think I'll pass on that. pretty sure, pretty sure I don't want that. I think you need to go back to the drawing board for that. Yeah, so muscles 10 times stronger than the strongest human ever, right? What could possibly go wrong? However, when I presented that in one of my videos, one of the people in the video, one of the people watching the video is a vet, paralyzed vet, and he said, "Oh, that would be fantastic. Then she could carry me around the house and help me create more mobility for me with a pleasant smile." And I said, "You know what? You're absolutely right. I didn't think of it that way." I sound like Jimmy from South Park. You know what? I never thought about it that way. uh, oh, I'm telling you, this whole notion that women will be able to compete with this, we've already seen things from the opposite side of stuff that's out for women that men cannot compete with. Oh yeah, can I get a like for the story? For the hand story? But I've seen stuff for products marketed for women that men can't compete with, and that's already out there. That's already out there. In fact, one of them went viral with one of the online comedians who said, "I can't compete with that. I can't compete with that at all. There's no use." He said, "And I'm a black man. I can't compete with that. Not even." So this notion that we better stop this female robot stuff because they might come up with something that's going to replace women. I'm sorry, women, you've already been replaced. But don't stop the female robot because the technology is so useful that Amazon is already secretly working on a home helper. Home helper. And they are calling to hire engineers, people who work on robots, mechanics. They are hiring. They are robustly hiring. Is that how you say it? They are actively hiring people to work on this secret. Apparently, it's not secret because it was leaked to the press somehow. A secret home helper, and they didn't want to come out and say what the home helper does. And they said, well, of course. Then the reporter goes, "Will it be like Alexa?" And because the reporter is a little bit dense, the Amazon representatives, oh yeah, yeah. You, how did you figure it out? It's just like Alexa. Well, back to the drawing board. We're gonna have to figure something else out. Alexa, yep, that's the home helper. Not that the secret document leaked said it will follow you from room to room, and you can order it to help you. Okay, let me ask you all. Are you all nice and intelligent? I don't know if that's. Uh, if you read a document that said that the home helper will follow you from room to room, are you going to be thinking Alexa? Are you going to be thinking something that sits on your counter? Or are you going to be thinking of. uh, I need to get rid of my farmer stand. Okay. Remind me not to ask questions of the chat room because they turn every question into something dirty. This is a good Christian channel. It's G rated for the family. Uh, okay, so if the document said the helper will follow you from room to room, are you going to be thinking Alexa or are you going to be thinking Ronnie the robot or whoever? Luke, you're leaving us? Oh, sorry, Luke. Luke, I am your father. Luke, I am your Vader. Can't stop Matt. You feel slightly out of place. Why? But how far? Well, let me read the question. How far? I. Oh, they already have that, dude. They already have that. They already have complete lollies and chibis and all that sort of stuff. uh, they'll they already have that. They have, and what's terrible is in Canada they prosecuted a guy based on the size of the doll that he got. So he got a package in a cardboard box, and somebody couldn't leave well enough alone and said, "Oh, I just know he's doing something nefarious up in there in his own house. I better go in and check and make sure that he's not doing something nefarious in his own house." And of course, it was a doll this size. Okay, so they said, "Oh my God, how dare you, sicko!" He ordered it from Japan. In Japan, women are this size. I just can't. These people are just. And his lawyer didn't know how to argue for him because his lawyer is not a very good lawyer, obviously, right? And it's nobody's business what he does in his house by himself on his property. But the Canadian government thinks that they can, in fact, come and do whatever they want to do. Okay, don't electrocute me. So, um, I was looking online for research purposes, and apparently, men wearing gloves is a thing. Is a whole subgroup. Men wearing gloves. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but I thought, is this real? And so then, of course, then I went through about 100 more videos of that. I was like, I, I don't get it. But then again, there's a whole thing of men riding the subway reading books. Oh, good books. They have to be good books. So this notion that people need to have one way of looking at stuff is ridiculous. Through my extensive scientific research online, there are people who like stuff that I can't even think how that's attractive. I can't even think of how it's attractive. Now, I'm completely vanilla. Completely. Uh, uh, if you understand that. I can't even conceive of half the stuff. Because I know that the world isn't like me, I keep going and researching, and sometimes I get into a deep, deep hole in the internet, and I keep going. I said I need to know that there are people out there like this, so that if somebody presented something to me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I already know about that. And I'm not going to be one of these wilting flowers that go, oh my god, oh, you put on rubber gloves? Oh my goodness, oh. I have no idea what rubber gloves or polyurethane gloves is about. I thought it was, when I figured out it was a thing, I was dumbfounded, flabbergasted. Same thing with the people who put on fursuits. Uh, it wasn't until I actually spoke to a person who was had a tail on in a club, and I walked up to the person, it's a guy, and I started talking to him. I go, okay, I don't understand the tail, but you seem normal to me. I don't get it. I don't get the memes about it. Cause I was like, I want to hang out with you. Oh, you like Akira? You like Naruto? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, and you play World of Warcraft? Sounds like I made a friend. uh, what now? She agreed. Oh God. That's funny. I know about a couple who has a female robot. It's a couple, and she met him under the, and of course they're interviewing her because you got to interview women. She said, "Yeah, it's fun. There's nothing to it. It's in the United States. It's a doll, so it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. But over there in Asia, where the technology is rampant, it's a bit more extensive and complicated. And now people are walking around with their female robots, and so it's not commonplace, but people understand it. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream now because my back is, of course, act acting up. I don't think there's a position I can get in to and as I get stressed, then my bones start hurting. I'm like Samuel Jackson in that superhero movie where he was made out of glass or something like that. What do you call it? Unbreakable. Did y'all see that movie? And my breath is, and losing the ability to speak. So in about 15 minutes, I'm going to be a puddle on the floor. Drink water to hydrate. This is probably the one of the better. I need to do plank exercise 30 seconds a day. Then in a week, or two a minute a day. You sound like my. That's what my physical therapist says. Is that why he's saying that? Because he explained that the whole midsection, all the way to the back, is unfounded on anything. The rib cage section is fine. It's based on the rib cage, so pecs and arms and legs all have a very solid bone attached to, but the entire midsection is floating, and so you have to work that out. And here comes the headache. So my blood pressure is going up. Whoa, and I'm getting dizzy. Okay, so I'm gonna go bye bye and probably pass out on my bed. I'm gonna make it to my bed though. Thank you, and I got the ringing in the ear starting. I'm not gonna go to the hospital. Okay, all right, gotta go. Thank you all.